I have a question. How could one possibly elevate all-American barbecue into a dish that's even more American? Peanut butter and jelly, that's the answer. Hi, I'm Tommy the Butcher. Today on the Wise Guys Barbecue Cutting Block, we did peanut butter and jelly baby back ribs. Now, these are gonna bring new meaning to finger licking good. So don't go anywhere, because I'm about to show you how you can do it at home. But before we get started, please like, share, and above all, subscribe and ring that notification bell. Stick around. I'm about to show you exactly how you can do it. All right, we're gonna get started with our baby back rib. I have a whole rack right here. And the first thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna put a binder down. This isn't necessary, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyways. And what I'm gonna use sriracha, because later on when we build our glazes, our jelly drizzle, even our peanut butter glaze, this sriracha is gonna be a common ingredient throughout the whole cook. So I'm just trying to keep everything together. Now, the next thing is gonna be rather controversial. I can hear all you barbecue purists out there going nuts because this membrane, I am not gonna take it off. I'm leaving it on. It's not a big deal. It's really not gonna cause any issues at the end. I'm looking to keep everything intact without anything falling off the bone. So I'm leaving the membrane on. That's right. If you want to take that membrane off, by all means, go ahead and do it. And then there's another option. If you want to score the membrane, that's another option that's used in the world of barbecue. So we're going to go with our sriracha. And I just want to rub all sides. Now the flavors of the sriracha really aren't going to come through very heavily. So as with any binder, most binders are just put on so that the rub can stick better. And mustard is a very common binder, of course. And none of those flavors actually come through in the final product, that is. All right, there's our rack of baby back ribs. I'm going to set that aside. So next we're going to make a very basic, typical barbecue rub. And the rub is what we're going to use to season this. So I've got a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of paprika. We have 1 tablespoon of a coarse ground pepper. This happens to be a 16 mesh black pepper. We have 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. I'm sorry, I'm going to backtrack. That's 2 tablespoons of black pepper and 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. My apologies. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder or granulated garlic. We have 1 tablespoon of an onion powder. And lastly, I have 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. All right, so we're going to just get this mixed up a little here, get all the lumps out, get everything nice and incorporated. We're going to very liberally rub our rib down. Both sides. Just pat it down a little bit. Make sure you get the edges too, because those edges need flavor as well. You don't want to leave those out. And go through here one more time. These are going to go into a 350-degree oven. I got it preheated. We're doing it in a sheet pan on a rack. We're going to get it, the bone side down. And we're going to go in with about maybe a 1/2 cup of white vinegar. It'll give a little steaming effect, as well as the acids will begin to break down the meat somewhat and make it a little more tender during that cook. Now we're going to get them inside. We got our oven preheated to 350 degrees. We're going to let them go for 75 minutes, tightly foiled. All right, our ribs are in the oven. Next, we're going to get started on our peanut butter glaze. I'm going to use about a 1/2 cup of creamy style peanut butter. All right, next we're going to go in with 2 tablespoons of an apple cider vinegar, then 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of hot honey. And lastly, we're going to go in with a 1/4 teaspoon of hot pepper flakes. Get all this mixed up. That peanut butter has a tendency to somewhat resist. With patience and persistence, you're going to get there. As you can see, the consistency is a little thick, and I want that to be a little more loose than it is. So all we have to do at this point is just add a little bit of warm water, just a touch, until we get that loosened up where it's more of a glaze than a paste, if that makes sense. Don't do too much hot water at the beginning. You're better off doing a little bit at a time and adding it. All right, now it's on to jelly drizzle. We're going in, I have a red raspberry preserve. Use any jelly you like, whether it's strawberry, grape, it's up to you. So we want to go with about a 1/3 cup of the raspberry preserve. And to balance out that sweetness, we're going to go with about a tablespoon of the sriracha. And we need to loosen that up a little bit as we did the peanut butter glaze. So we're going to go in with just a little bit of water. All right, with this jelly drizzle, you can put it in a stock pot or in a pot and just bring it up to a simmer on top of the stove. Or you can do what I just did as well, a lot easier. Just bring it in, put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds until it just begins to like bubble and boil a little bit. That'll just bring it all together and get that nice syrupy glaze that you're looking for. I got a bag of roasted salted peanuts, and I'm gonna crush these up because we're gonna use these as a dust. We're gonna sprinkle our finished rib with the peanut dust. So you can use whatever you have. A pan works well, a fry pan, a small pot. Just get these crushed up. I'm gonna use the tools I have in front of me. All right, that's looking good. You don't wanna go too fine with it. You wanna leave a little coarseness. 75 minutes in a 350-degree oven. Our ribs are done. We pull them off. They're looking great. Got some great pullback on those bones. I've probed them. We're running at about 203 degrees throughout the entire rib from one side to the other. The next step is we're gonna get this peanut butter glaze on before we get it to the grill. I'm just gonna take this and basically just paint it on. Now when you're doing this, be very careful. You want to kind of like dab it. You don't want to like put too much pressure on the brush because you'll end up taking some of the rub off. So when we were off camera, I tried a little bit of this peanut butter glaze. Let me tell you, it's pretty amazing. It would make an incredible peanut butter sandwich. It's got a little bit of heat in it from the sriracha. That hot honey brings it to another level. All right, make sure you get all the surfaces. All right, that's looking good. All right, I'm gonna flip this over and we'll get the back side. Now these ribs are fully cooked at this point. We're basically looking to get the peanut butter glaze on. I'm gonna get in between those bones. That's looking good. We're all glazed off. We'll get them over to the grill. We'll get them on. All right, we're ready to get our ribs on the grill. It's at 500 degrees. You're looking for a medium-high grill. Please excuse the, I got a little carried away with the peanut butter glaze on my way over to the grill, so I'm wearing some of it, but the show must go on, so. All right, we're gonna get these on the grill, meat side down first with the bone side up. I'm gonna close the lid. Now we're gonna stay with these. We're not gonna walk away from this because this peanut butter is gonna caramelize quite a bit. So we're just looking to get some color on that, a little bit of grill mark on it, and we'll get these off once we reach that point. Now, as you can see, these ribs are kind of curved, so you're gonna have to work with it a little bit, kind of just tilt one side to the other until you get an even browning on all sides. At this point, I'm going to flip them. As you can see, we got some great color, some good grill marks on there. That's what we're looking for at this point. I'm going to close the grill, the lid. When we do the bone side of these ribs, because they're curved and they're up off the grill grates, you're not going to get quite the browning that you would on the meat side. So don't be concerned about that. We're just looking to get an even heating throughout the entire rib. We allowed them to cool off a little bit so that we could apply the peanut butter glaze. So those ribs have actually cooled off somewhat. So we're just looking to get them back up to temperature. All right, I think we're good to go. I did about 5 minutes on the bone side, whereas on the meat side, I only did about a minute or two because that peanut butter will caramelize pretty quick. And if you don't keep an eye on it, you can only burn that. So we're gonna get these off. I'm gonna get them back on the cutting board and get the raspberry jam drizzle on, and we'll garnish it with the crushed peanut dust, and we're gonna finish these up. All right, our baby back ribs are off the grill. At this point, they're only peanut butter ribs, so we got a couple steps remaining to finish these off to get to our peanut butter and jelly baby back ribs. We got some great grill marks. The peanut butter actually caramelized very nicely, so we're looking good at this point. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take our raspberry jam drizzle, and with a spoon, I'm literally just gonna go right across the top and just drizzle this on. You don't really need to brush it on by any means. If you want to, you certainly can if you'd like, but I'm just looking for a visual appearance where this drizzle is exactly what it implies. It's drizzled on. I don't know about you, but this is looking pretty amazing at this point. And last but not least, we've got peanut butter dust. There you have it. Peanut butter and jelly baby back ribs. I don't know what there is not to like about this. All right, I've been anticipating this all day long. I couldn't wait to dive in here and give these a try. You know, you might be looking at yourself, scratching your head. Peanut butter jelly on pork? Well, let me tell you, pork loves sweet. The jelly, the heat from the sriracha, the heat from the hot honey. Not only that, there are a lot of recipes, Asian recipes especially, that has a lot of peanut in their dishes. So I'm telling you, this makes a lot of sense. It all goes together, and I can't wait to let you know what they're like. So I'm gonna go in here. Oh my goodness. What I tell you, finger licking good. You'll be licking your fingers all day long after this. Juicy, sticky, peanut buttery. I mean, there's absolutely nothing that you can find wrong with this. It's absolutely incredible, and there's only one thing left to do. Wow. Off the chart good. I'm telling you, I will definitely do these time and time again. I know I'm kind of covered with it, but this is one of the funnest videos I've done, and I really want you to try this. Everybody's gonna love this. Thank you for watching. This is Tommy the Butcher for Wise Guys Barbecue. Please like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Can't wait to see you next time. Thank you for watching. Wow, these are amazing. Holy shit.